Hey guys, it's Miki ASMR here, and today I'm going to be reading an Iwaizumi Hajime, ex-listener. This one is titled Indirect Rejection, and without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Abajosai High School, otherwise known as Seijo, was a school infamous for the volleyball captain player named Oikawa Toru. This is a school where Wayan studies as a third year and is classmates with both him and Iwaizumi. Oikawa Toru was often seen with his friend, Iwaizumi Hajime, the vice captain and ace of Seijo's volleyball team. Hajime was usually there to keep his friend in check. Although that was true, he went mostly unnoticed by the girls. However, whenever Oikawa was there, Iwaizumi was mostly overlooked. Well, it also happened to the other members of the team. Iwaizumi had been the most rejected, and although it wasn't directly, he had seen every single possibility from girls who had just got their heart broken, and today was no different. Iwaizumi knew that Oikawa was being confessed to today, but he once again appointed to make sure that he gets to after-school practice on time. So here he was, slowly walking around the school in order to find that trashy but best friend of his. Currently, he was on his way to their classroom. As he reached the top of the stairs, he was going to make a turn when he saw Wayan sitting outside of the class. Her body wasn't facing the door, but her face was. He immediately backed away. Something about her being there, staring at whatever was going on in the room, made his heart clench. He had heard footsteps walking to the stairs, so he quickly rushed down the stairs. When he had made his way onto the first platform, he had turned around and slowly walked up the stairs again to make sure that it looked like he had just arrived. In the back of his mind, he was thinking of why he actually did that. It looks foolish to do so. Wayan had appeared in the turn and hurriedly walked down the stairs. Her head was bowed, and suddenly, her feet got entangled as she lost her balance. With a squeal, her body lost gravity and lunged forward. Wayan waited for the impact with closed eyes, but did she feel something that she wasn't expecting? Instead of feeling her face come in contact with the rough floor, it came in contact with something fleshy and sturdy. Someone holding her by the wrist. That was close, Iwaizumi said, speaking into her ear. What happened with you? You're usually more careful than this, last name son. Wayan lifted her face and was immediately met with Iwaizumi's gaze. He could see that there was a slight blush on her face. The reason for it, he didn't know. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about something. Wayan apologized, removing herself from Iwaizumi's hold. The latter felt hesitant about letting her go, and felt very broken at the same time. I see, he said. You were thinking about Oikawa and the confession. Well, we'll be more careful this time. Be more careful that time. Well, be more careful next time. Yeah, I will. She looked away she said as she looked away, her hand holding her left forearm tightly with her other hand. That look. Iwaizumi knew that look. He had, after all, seen it so many times before. That look of having your heart broken. Well, I gotta go now, Wayan said. Yeah, take care. She waved her hand as she thanked him for saving her from the fall. Iwaizumi had leaned back on the stair railings. Right now, did he take that look as an indirect confession as well? Or rejection as well? He had exhaled slowly and pulled himself together. When he had reached the classroom, a girl came running with tears in her eyes. Iwaizumi watched her run down the hall. Seeing the girl's reaction, he knew that Oikawa had just rejected her. Oh, Iwa-chan, are you here to pick me up? Oikawa said, coming out of the classroom. You shouldn't have. I'll be on time for practice, okay? At least on time before the coaches get to the gym. Shut up and let's go, Iwaizumi said. Iwa-chan, you seem so on edge. What's wrong? Nothing. Just thinking of how you could break two hearts at the same time. Same time? I would understand if it was in the same week or two, but at the same time, that would be impossible even for me. But you just did, Iwaizumi thought. Time skip. The girls are baking cookies today, Oikawa mentioned to Iwaizumi. So what about it? Iwaizumi said, uninterested as he continued to do whatever he was doing. You're actually really jealous that they'll be giving some to me, aren't you? Don't worry, I'll make sure to give you some. Iwaizumi raised his eyebrow in irritation. What was that? Right then, the bell had rang, and classes had resumed. By lunchtime, Oikawa's desk was being swarmed by girls. Whenever this happened, his classmates would just leave to have their lunch in a more peaceful environment. Since Iwaizumi usually spent his lunch with his childhood friend, he had waited for him to come outside of the classroom. This was going to take a long time. So you're just going to wait for him again? Wyan asked, suddenly appearing by his side. You'll be starving by the time that he's finished. I'll just force him to eat lunch with me for the entire week if that happens, he replied. Wyan giggled. That sounds just like you, Iwaizumi-kun. The boy tensed up a little and then relaxed. Her laugh was really cute. For a while, there was silence. Iwaizumi-kun, Wyan had asked, can I ask you a question? Yeah, go ahead, he had replied. If you like someone, what do you do about it? Iwaizumi tensed up again. It felt like his mouth had went dry. That depends on what you mean. Would you confess to her? Maybe. A little bit of silence. How would you go about it? Don't you feel awkward asking me these kind of things? Kind of, Wyan agreed, smiling sheepishly. But I want your opinion on it. She had her eyes focused on the rowdy happenings inside of the classroom, around Oikawa. Iwaizumi had noticed. Figures, he whispered. What was that? She asked. It's nothing, he said. I just think I'd tell her directly in a straightforward kind of way. Wyan contemplated on his answer. Well, it does sound like something you would do. So, do you like anyone? Before Iwaizumi could register the question, his mouth had already answered for him. It was an instant answer before he could think about it. Yeah, he said. Oh, I see. Realizing what he had said, he glanced at the girl. There was something that he couldn't decipher in her eyes. So, do you plan on telling her? Maybe not. I think she has her eyes set on someone else. Wyan laughed nervously. I guess it does make confessing a lot more difficult. Anyways, here, she said, stretching out her hand in front of him, with a bag of simply wrapped cookies. Something for you to chew on while you continue waiting for him. Sorry for the weird conversation. Iwaizumi stared at the package with wide eyes. Weren't you gonna give this to Oikawa? Oikawa-san? She asked. She looked inside of the classroom to watch the group of girls surrounding the setter. Even if I were to make something for him, I don't think I'd be able to give it to him. Anyways, she paused, a slight tint of pink appearing on her features. I baked these for you. At the exact moment, Oikawa came out of the room, and Iwaizumi noticed the blush on the girl's face deepen. Wyan immediately hid the package of cookies behind her. As she faced Oikawa, it felt like a stab to his heart. Oh, last name Chan, Oikawa said. Do you have any cookies for me? I like yours the most. So he's already tasted her cookies, huh? Iwaizumi thought as he looked away from the two. I shouldn't really be surprised. She does like him after all. It's natural that she would bake cookies for him. I should leave. They probably wouldn't even notice that I was gone. As soon as he thought that, he snuck away. After a few minutes, Oikawa caught up with him in the hallway. Iwa-chan, wait for me, he said. Why did you leave? Because I waited for an idiot, and now my stomach is growling. Iwaizumi lied. Maybe she gave him the cookies, he thought. When lunch break had ended, everyone went back to their respective places. Iwaizumi noticed a plastic sound as he had felt the inside of his textbook in the inside of his desk. When he peeked inside, there was a pack of cookies, wrapped in the same way that Wyan had packaged the cookies that she held out for him a while ago. He had stared at them for a second before glancing at the girl who had made them. What's going on? Iwaizumi thought. I put my hopes down, but she keeps pulling it up. Later that evening, he ate every piece. Time skip. A week later, Wyan had found her blood pumping with adrenaline, even though she wasn't in any danger or any potential threat. Her heart was beating so fast that she was afraid it would jump out of her chest. She couldn't concentrate properly in class, and before she knew it, school hours had already rolled by. Today is the day, she said, as she made her way to the gym where the volleyball players were practicing. I'm ready. I can do this, she said as she placed her hand to her chest, waiting for her heart to calm down. I'm finally gonna tell him. Time skip. Hey, Captain, Hanamaki said. There's a girl by the gym doors. I think it's another confession. Oikawa turned to check who it was. Iwaizumi, who was close, did the same. Isn't that Wyan-chan? Oikawa said. Did she even ask for me? Iwaizumi went back up to finishing practice, or warm-up. Usually girls come in here and either ask to watch you play, or ask for you, or to watch you play. It wouldn't be unusual, he said, waiting, or as he tried to speak as casually as possible. And I was guessing, Hanamaki said. It's usually that way, though. Oh, Kandaichi walked up to her. That must mean that she didn't come to watch. Iwaizumi sighed. So the day's finally come, huh? He thought sadly. She's gonna confess to him. It felt like hours before Kandaichi called out, "Iwaizumi-senpai." He shouted across the court and then pointed to YN respectively. The vice captain almost felt his heart stop. Him? Why was she asking for him? As he got up to walk to the gym doors, he felt his feet weigh him down. What is it, last name, son? He asked. YN played with her fingers. She glanced around the gym as she saw some people staring at them. Could we, talk outside? Sure, he said. Once they were outside alone, YN had finally faced Iwaizumi again. There was silence hanging in the atmosphere, and it made the vice captain uncomfortable. He sighed. When girls usually went to talk to him, it was usually about Oikawa. Iwaizumi-kun? YN had finally spoke up. Do you remember that conversation that we had last time? You mean about that confessing thing? Yeah, that one. What about it? Well, you see, there is someone I like. Iwaizumi looked down. Here it is, he thought. He's a rather direct person, but he can be really stubborn at times, she continued. He really loves volleyball to the point where I think he'll probably prioritize that sport over me. Personally, I wouldn't mind. I love to see how he plays a sport. Plus, he's really cool. As I thought, she's referring to Oikawa, he thought, already feeling his chest fall. Out loud, he said, So, you planning on telling him today? She nodded. Iwaizumi rubbed the back of his neck to release some of the tension in his suppressed system, though I doubt that trashy guy would really put her into consideration. Hey, don't call him trashy. Hey, don't call him trashy. Waya nodded. He's not like that, right? You do know I call him Trashikawa for a reason, right? The girl stared, wide-eyed. Trashikawa? You mean Oikawa? Who else? Isn't that the guy you're referring to? The guy that you like? Ouch. Saying that really hurt. He glanced at the girl to see her blushing. What happened next is what actually surprised him. Why on earth would I like that guy? She burst out saying, No offense, because you're his best friend, but I hate that guy's guts. Iwaizumi's eyes widened. Huh? But didn't you say? YN put her hand up to stop him from speaking. No way, she said. Even if I were stuck on an island with him, it would never be him. Why would you even think I liked him? Your description fitted him, so... The person I was describing was you, YN corrected. Iwaizumi couldn't believe his ears, and he wanted to believe that what he was hearing was the truth. But how does that explain your recent behavior? What the fuck do you mean? Wait, sorry, she didn't say the fuck, but that's what I'm thinking. Sorry. What do you mean? Like the last time Oikawa had... Shit. Like the last time when somebody had confessed to Oikawa in the classroom, where you had fell down the stairs. You were looking inside of the classroom. YN blushed. I didn't know back then that there was somebody that was going to confess. When I was passing the classroom, I thought for a second the person being confessed to was you, and when I realized it was someone else, I simply moved on. Then, what were you thinking about back then? I was thinking about what would happen if I confessed to you. I was thinking about it way too much, and I almost fell down the stairs. But you baked Oikawa's for... What? Oops. You had baked cookies for Oikawa. He knows your taste of cooking. It just so happened that he took a bite from the pack of cookies that I gave to one of my friends some time ago, and that's how I knew how they were. Iwaizumi panicked. Then what was I worrying about the whole time? How should I know? The only thing that I love is you, and definitely not Oikawa. The other's words had hung in the atmosphere for a while until they sunk in. They both said at the same time. So you've been worried about me liking Oikawa? She asked. You like me? He confirmed. Yeah, the both of them said, responding to the questions at the exact same time. When they had realized that they had spoken at the same time, they broke into laughter. YN soon felt her arms being brought into a hug, and Iwaizumi relaxed as his weight finally lifted from his heart. YN also relaxed and returned the hug, but she soon started shaking. I was kind of scared, she said. When you had mentioned that you liked someone, I didn't know that it was going to be me. Yeah, and I thought you liked Oikawa, Iwaizumi said. Her shaking didn't stop, for what Iwaizumi didn't know. What for, Iwaizumi didn't know. Was it fear, relief, joy? Hey, he whispered. I love you. Her hug tightened as her shaking stopped. I love you too, Finn. That was adorable. Stop it. Oh, or stop it, Iwa-chan. Sorry, that was so cringy. I hope you guys enjoyed that because I thought that was really cute. Anyways, fuck you, Oikawa. And I'm saying that as in Oikawa Kenny, guys, so I have the right to say that to Oikawa. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you did like the video, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. And also like the video because that is something for the YouTube algorithm. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.